Oh,
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. Meditation gathers energy and strength when we meditate together. And this week we have Ruth White, who will lead us in meditation, and then we're going to have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we'll open it up for sharing, and we end at approximately 10:45. Over to you, Ruth.
as you said, Dan, it's all about forgiveness. And I know there's no order of miracles, but this to me was a little miracle. I read in the newspaper that a man had been dragged out of his house and stabbed 9 times. And he was taken to court, and the judge said, "What do you have to say?" to the victim. And he said, "I've got nothing to say. I've just got to get on with my life. And I hope that my aggressor can get on with his." And there was silence in the courtroom for a while. And then the judge said, "If this is a product of your intellect, then I admire you. But if this is a product of your faith, then I envy you," which I thought was very touching. But it is possible, it's a miracle to let something like that go. But they're happening all the time, aren't they? And to let go of the past, we come back into the present, away from all those thoughts in the mind. In meditation, with a practice, one-pointed attention on our mantra, which could be the stillness, the silence, we're letting go of the past. The future's all made up with past ideas. And who would prefer the past instead of the present? The present is where love is. And as you were saying, Dan, when you give complete attention to somebody, if they're speaking to you particularly, or just in front of you, then you're giving love to yourself. Pure attention, pure communication is love itself. So the mind needs training because it's like quicksilver. And like a willful child, it keeps running away into the thoughts. But the thoughts are a reminder that we come back to the present. It keeps reminding us. So thoughts aren't bad, but thinking is. If we choose to follow the thought along, then it starts a little chatter again. So as soon as we're awake to thoughts coming in, like waves coming in up the beach, let them go, let them go. Letting go of the past. Yes. And then we come back into heaven. It's here all the time. Present, the heaven. Whatever's in front of you, give attention. You know, I was told by a wise man, it was in India, to control my emotions. He didn't know me, but I do cry very easily or feel sympathetic, and off goes the mind into the sympathetic thoughts. But I thought, how do I control my emotions? How can I do that? And then the answer was quite simple. Just come back into the present. Let go the thoughts of past. They don't exist. They're just your imagination. These emotions that run through you are just imaginations. Come back into the present. What's there in front of you is your God, your heaven. So give a full attention to what we're doing right now. And let's rest in this meditation. Switch off. Good. And bring the meditation to a close.
Open your eyes slowly and come back into the room. We have about 16 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand or use the reactions button at the bottom of the screen, and I'll invite you to take yourself off of mute. And if you'd like to ask Ruth a question or a comment with confidentiality, put your message in the chat function at the bottom of the screen, and I'll read it out. Who'd like to share? Celia.
Thank you, Ruth. That was very different for me, because in the introduction that you gave us, you mentioned using a mantra. And I thought, well, I've been meditating for many decades now, and I haven't used a mantra for a long time. I have other ways that I normally enter into meditation. So I used a mantra this time, and it was a delightful kind of reconnecting with meditating in a way that I hadn't done it for years and years. So and I found that very nourishing and helpful. So thank you very much. That was really really it's a taste of something I hadn't tasted for a long time, and found that it was really, really good for me. So thank you.
But that's lovely. There's nothing wrong in a routine, but there's nothing wrong in changing it. And if we fall into silence and the mantra goes into the stillness, then that's absolutely fine. And some young people coming in and say, do I need a mantra? And perhaps they don't. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Would like to share? Norman, take yourself off mute.
Good morning, everybody. My meditation shouldn't be interrupted. The flat upstairs is getting gas in, and a lot of workers have arrived, and they're making a lot of noise, so I'll not be too long. It started off when you mentioned the past, and my thoughts immediately went back to Scotland. Days sailing around the lovely Highlands, and on my own, wandering about the Highlands. And I never felt lonely when I was doing that, and my mind just, I thought I was happy. Didn't know what happiness was then, but too many months, but still. And then it just quieten your mind and see if anything else happens. And it's strange because I've been concentrating on the awakening. And there's a thing in the very start that says, what sort of a day would you want? Would you like? And it brings you straight into the present that I want at the moment. And if you want a nice happy day, do nothing. Don't plan anything. Do absolutely nothing, and you'll get it. And I just more or less say, well, I'm going there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Normally I would plan everything. So now I just mentioned what I would like to do and where I would like to go and leave it at that. And in the past couple of days only, it's made a vast difference. I can see that peace. And I think that's coming from an earlier thing with the Course in Miracles and everything like this. But I've discovered just in the last 2 days that if I don't do anything, I will get a happy day. And it promises that if I have a happy day, the whole world will. And the whole world can lead a happy day. So if I take myself off down, I haven't gone away. It's just the background noise. I wouldn't like to be passing that on as well. Thank you very much. Ruth. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Norbert. It's the left brain can get very busy, the ego brain, in planning, can't it? And when we do just rest back into the right brain, into the heaven, it's such a relief. We don't have to do all this planning. So wandering in the crags would be a wonderful place to quieten down. Thank you.
There's a comment in chat. It says, "Thank you, Ruth, for a beautiful meditation." And she has to drop out early, but she hopes to see you all soon.
Oh, no.
We'd like to share. Well, I had a mantra which came to me when you were talking, Ruth, and it was step back, be present. And I thought I'm going to carry that with me all through the day, because oftentimes my mind is off thinking about all these different things I have to do, and I'm not at peace. And I'm going to train myself to come back to the present moment.
Yes. Stepping back down can be a wonderful move. You know, if we react to some situation, I find that sometimes it's good just to step back, take another look. Yes. There was a mantra that Gary Rayner had it in his book, and it helped me a lot. And it was, your spirit, whole and innocent, all is forgiven and all released. It says it all for me. We've got time. Can I ask you a question? Because my grandfather was a minister and he used to raise his hand and bless us. And he'd say, it was beyond thinking. May the peace of God be with you now and forevermore. And I wondered about the significance of the hand. We know that the chakra, the prana is there and the hand is healing, but laying on of hands, do you have any understanding of that, Dan?
None at all. Anybody else?
Yes. It felt wonderful to be blessed.
Hi, Ruth, I do.
Yes.
My name's Grace, Alda Grace.
Oh,
Thank you for that. That's really wonderful. I'm not on camera because I don't want to be recording visually. But yeah, I found out from Dr. David R. Hawkins
yes,
that when we raise our hands, because I used to think when we're worshiping, why do we raise our hands? I mean, I used to do it
yes,
and I still do it. But Dr. David R. Hawkins actually said when we're raising our hands, we're actually allowing the grace of God to flow through us to everyone. So the raising of our hands allows a flowing to everyone. And I thought, wow, that is truly, truly awesome. That is just, yeah. So that's the significance. So when your grandfather did it, that was his right-mindedness, doing the best for everyone. So thank you for that. I
no,
appreciate
thank you. That's wonderful. Yes. May the peace of God, which passes all understanding. So, as you say, it's the right brain, isn't it? It's not to understand, it's just to accept and be. And I think dear one is a wonderful expression because we don't need to say everybody really, we are just one. So a blessing would be to one and all. Yes. Yes.
Norman, would you like to share? You're on mute. There you go.
I'm just used to it, yes. Yes, you mentioned hands, and that immediately brought back a memory for me. A very long while ago now in a small church, and there was a girl playing the piano, and she asked if anybody could read music. Now I could read music, but I couldn't play the piano. So I stood beside her and turned the pages over, and I just happened to glance down and look at her hands, and she didn't have big hands or anything like that. And I just happened to wonder to myself, how on earth does that particular note, how does she reach her finger to get at that key? I just kept looking at it, and her finger was nowhere near the key, but the key was going down. Leave it. As the other lady said, you know, it must be grace or something of the Holy Spirit, maybe just coming out of the fingers to just help her out. I just come back now. That was another thing that perplexed me for an awful long time. Yeah, lovely memory for me back when I needed it.
Yes. Thank you for that. Lovely, lovely. Yes. And the right side of the brain, and I say that, is the heavenly side. Children are dominantly one right brain, and later we develop an intellect, which we need. We need the ego and ideas and planning. and anatomically, they're so beautifully divided. It's like a clean cut, you know, there's different sides of the brain. And of course, we need both to function in this world. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have a left brain. We had no ego at all. And it's that balancing of the two sides which can happen in meditation. It can happen at any time at all. And it's then that the miracle occurs. We're not dominated by thoughts of who you are. And so when the sides, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere are balanced, then we're powerful. We're in the now, not swept away. So in a meditative way, we lead up to that in yoga by practicing postures, one-pointed attention. And the seventh limb of yoga, there are 8, is meditation. Balanced and harmonious. That's why the posture is so important when we sit, that we're in balance physically. Because I know we're not the body, but it's a wonderful friend, it's a wonderful ally for helping us to balance. Yes.
We'd like to Celia, I just wanted to ask you, what was your mantra?
This time it was I choose spirit. We are all spirit. So I was joining with the group that we, particularly with the group that we are, and reminding myself all the time that that is all I am.
Yes.
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you. Yes, letting go of the past, isn't it? So that we're just pure spirit, all one. Yes.
We have time for one more share if anybody wants to jump in. Okay, well, I'll wind it up here, and we'll hope to see you all next week. That was wonderful, Ruth. I really appreciate it. Take yourself off of mute and show your appreciation to you.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you.